Hey folks, welcome back to St. Isidore's Farm, to this channel, and the fifth video in this series about James B. Stinson's book, Successful Fathers. First, just wanted to say thanks to those of you who have subscribed to the channel. Went from, gosh, relatively small, 16 subscribers to 31 subscribers. I'm also really grateful for those of you that have liked the videos, shared comments. Really enjoy that. Some of the feedback and some of the things that other people have shared has been helpful. So again, if you like these videos, it is encouraging to I guess get subscribers and to receive some of the thumbs up if you like the videos, and certainly to share comments. So again, thank you for that to those of you. Outside tonight, I'm trying to shoot this video a little bit earlier, so the kids are up, dogs, animals, it's noisy in the house, and again, there's just nowhere to get that is a quiet space, so I decided to come outside. So there may be occasionally cars that drive by, like that one, and some other noises, but it's quiet out here, and I can talk loud and be more animated and less subdued. I did shoot this video last night, tried to at I think 11:30 at night. I was exhausted. It's been a long and challenging week, which I'll come back to, and so I felt like I wanted to reshoot this. The other part of that is I think I want to switch the formatting a little, get as best I can right to the paragraph in the book, read it for those of you that just want to hear it and move on, and then I'll add my commentary and some other thoughts about things that are going on and reflections at the end. That's it. I'll get right to it. Number 5. And of course, successful fathers listen to their children as well. They listen for what is unspoken and implied. They come to understand the changes taking place in the children's minds, and they steer the children's judgment about people and affairs. They respect the children's privacy. They praise them for their growth in character, showing their earnest expectations that the children will grow up to be great, honorable men and women, regardless of what they do for a living. So a short chapter and fairly self-explanatory, but to back up and say what I was talking about in terms of this week and why it's been a bit challenging. In the school in which I serve, we tragically had the sudden and unexpected death of one of our students' fathers Monday night. Of course, it's difficult. The loss of a loved one, and in a small school like ours, a family like ours, it's tough. The other side of that is that the beauty of being in a place where faith is so vibrant and rich and so much a part of who and what we are, to see students in prayer, to support each other, to uplift and encourage, and especially their friend who has lost her father. It's such a young age, and so that's beautiful to sort of see in the midst of tragedy and suffering, to also see that beauty. It also is, for me, causes reflection in that my own father passed away 3 years ago about this same time, almost to the week. And so there is much thought and prayer, and again, the poignancy of the fact that here doing this video on successful fathers, and in our community we mourn the loss of a father, and I prepare to celebrate the anniversary of my own father's death, and so that leads to some thoughts. And the one that I immediately think is that who is it that will judge if we were successful fathers or not? But our children. And I suspect that in our passing is in those moments where they will look back and say, what kind of a father were we? Were we present to them in the right ways? Were we there for them? Were we supportive? Did we say the things that they needed to hear? Did we listen, etc.? So a moment of reflection, and I do ask your prayers for this student, for the repose of her father's soul, and for our community. But in response to this and thinking about this, this really is such an important and understated thing, that to listen to our children, or really to listen to those in our life, our loved one, our spouse, friends, but especially our children. And you see that so often as so many young people who, I think, for whatever reasons, their parents, especially their fathers, are not present to them in the right ways. Might be that they're on the road, they travel a lot, and they're physically not present. But I say this frequently to people, that a person can be physically present, but not present in the right ways. And that much of the busyness and the things we do and the activities we get involved in, and we take our kids here and we take our kids there, and we do this and we coach that, and all of the studies, all of the research, all of the interviews, that's not what children want. They simply want their fathers present in their lives in the right ways. And in one of those is to listen to them, to hear them, and even to understand, as Stinson points out, the subtleties of the unspoken and implied things that they're trying to say to us, the changes that are going on in their life. And you do have to listen carefully to catch that. You have to be really present to them in the moment. You can't be sort of sitting in the car driving somewhere with your mind turned to other matters, and your child is sitting next to you talking and sounds like a Charlie Brown phone conversation, a wah 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 wah, and you just sort of going uh-huh. You really have to shut that part of your mind down that's thinking other things, and as men this can be a challenge, and to really give them that time and to listen carefully and give them feedback if they want it, if they're going to talk. Successful fathers come to understand the changes taking place in the children's minds. Boy, our oldest is 16, should be 17 in February. Our youngest is 6, getting ready to turn 7. And so we've got this span of 16, 14, 12, 9, 6. And you can see the changes taking place in their minds. And to have a conversation with the 16 and the 14-year-old is very different than the 12 and the 9, and of course the 6. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see our oldest really beginning to be more retrospective and about things, or introspective about things, and contemplative, and to really be keen in her assessment of people and situations. And that's pretty neat. And to, as he says, to help guide that, to give her feedback as she asks questions about, what do I do in this situation, or this is dynamic or thing, and to have that interaction and that formation, again, as he said, of not the person she is now, but the person she will become. Successful fathers, as he says, praise their children for their growth in character. And that's another one, is to actually stop and say, wow, that's a really keen insight you have. You really seem to have a gift for reading people or understanding what's going on, or whatever it might be. That the ways in which to compliment and to encourage them in the ways that they're thinking and seeing the world. Successful fathers show their earnest expectations that the children will grow up to be great, honorable men and women, regardless of what they do for a living. So again, to sort of hear their dreams and aspirations, the things that they want, and to let them know, when you hear that you support them, you encourage them in those things, that we don't impose on them our expectations for what they will do in their life, what they should pursue, etc. Because that's our will. It's not God's will, and it's not their discerning of what they should do. So that to let them know, we believe, we have high expectations, but we believe that they will attain them. in achieving greatness in whatever they do, regardless of the way that they make their living. So that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, again, if you don't mind, thumbs up or add a comment or suggestions in the comments below, and please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I do hope it's going to be an incredibly busy weekend. We do have the funeral mass tomorrow for a student, and then it's a very, very full weekend, but working on some projects on the farm. So those of you who are subscribed to the channel that didn't sign on for parenting videos, going to get back to the farm soon. We're putting up a fence around one of the fields. We've been working on that when we can, and that's had some challenges. And get back to the shop. Need to finish the plowing project we started way back when, and a number of other projects we got to get back to. So hopefully I'll start uploading some videos from the farm as well, from the homestead and the things that we're doing here. But that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching, and please, again, if you wouldn't mind offering prayers for the student and our community. And I guess I just add and say, don't take for granted those relationships with your father at whatever age it is. Make the time, find the time, even in older age, to make time for those conversations, to learn about your parents, learn more, ask them questions. What was it like when they were a kid? What did they do? What was college like? What was your job like? Did you ever have challenges and difficulties like what I'm facing at work? And don't take that time for granted, because as I learned, and my brothers and sister and we learned, you can't get that time back. So that's it. Have a great evening, and God bless, and good night from St. Isidore's Farm.